Welcome to my YouTube channel. The Billionaire vs. the Old Parents. The city of Mumbai glittered at night, with glass towers shining like jewels against the dark sky. One of those towers belonged to Arnav Malhotra, a billionaire known for his ruthless business empire. People bowed when he entered a room, newspapers praised his brilliance, and competitors feared his strategies. Yet, despite all the success, Arnav carried an emptiness he never admitted aloud. One evening, he attended the opening of a new luxury hotel he had funded. Cameras flashed, journalists pushed microphones toward him, and guests whispered his name. But in that crowd, an old couple stood silently at the back, unnoticed by anyone. Their clothes were simple, their eyes tired, and their hands trembled slightly as they held onto each other. They were Raghav and Meera, a poor couple who had once lived in the same village as Arnav's family many decades ago. The first clash. After the speeches ended, the old couple slowly approached Arnav. "Arnav beta," Raghav's voice cracked, using the affectionate word for son. Arnav turned, slightly irritated. "Do I know you?" he asked coldly. Meera smiled faintly, her wrinkles deepening. "We were your neighbors in the village. Your mother often came to our house. We treated you like our own child once." Arnav's brows furrowed. He vaguely remembered playing in dusty fields with children, eating food cooked by friendly neighbors, and hearing Meera's lullabies when his mother was away. But those were memories from another lifetime, a life before money, power, and pride consumed him. "What do you want?" Arnav asked sharply. Raghav hesitated. We are old now. Our son left us, and we live in a broken hut. We hoped you might help us with some work, or maybe just shelter." Arnav's jaw tightened. Around them, people were watching. A billionaire being approached by ragged villagers? It embarrassed him. "Listen," he said coldly, "I've built myself from nothing. No one helped me, and I owe nothing to anyone. If you're looking for charity, you're wasting your time." Meera's smile faded, but her voice was steady. "Beta, we didn't come for charity. We came because we believed humanity still exists in you." Arnav's eyes hardened. "You're mistaken." He turned away and walked off, leaving them standing like shadows in the shining hall. The challenge of life. The next day, the media ran a small story: "Billionaire snubs old villagers at event." Though most ignored it, the words unsettled Arnav. He told himself he didn't care, but something inside him stirred. He remembered how, as a boy, he had once eaten rotis from Meera's hand because his mother was too ill to cook. He remembered Raghav fixing his kite when it tore. That night, he sat alone in his penthouse overlooking the city. Glass walls, expensive wine, golden furniture, yet none of it comforted him. He thought of the old couple sleeping in some corner of the city. Shiver. Days passed. One evening, as Arnav was being driven home, his car stopped at a red light. On the footpath, he saw Raghav and Meera sitting on a torn blanket, sharing a piece of dry bread. His heart clenched, but his pride kept him silent. Suddenly, a group of young men mocked the couple, laughing at their poverty. One boy kicked away their food. Arnav, unable to control himself, stepped out of his car. "Enough!" he shouted, his voice thundering like the man the city feared. The boys fled, leaving the couple trembling. Raghav looked up in shock. "Arnav." Arnav's throat tightened. For once, he couldn't speak. The turning point. That night, he brought them to his mansion. The servants were surprised, whispering at the sight of their powerful boss helping beggars. Arnav gave them a guest room, food, and warm clothes. But Meera, with gentle dignity, refused to sleep on the soft bed. "We didn't come here to live like kings," she said softly. "We only needed a corner where we wouldn't be humiliated." Arnav felt ashamed. All his wealth, and yet he had been poorer in humanity than them. Over the next few weeks, the old couple stayed. They never asked for money, only for small tasks to keep themselves busy. Meera cooked simple meals in the kitchen, and Raghav watered the plants in the garden. Slowly, the mansion that had always been silent began to feel alive. Arnav realized he would wait for Meera's warm dal more eagerly than any five-star dish. He would sit in the garden and talk with Raghav about the old village, the festivals, the fields, things Arnav had buried under skyscrapers and deals. One evening, he asked quietly, "Why didn't you hate me after the way I treated you?" Raghav smiled faintly. "Because, Beta, love is not a transaction. We loved you like our son once, and in our hearts, that never changed. The final lesson. Weeks turned into months. The world outside still saw Arnov as the ruthless billionaire, but inside, he was changing. He found himself questioning the meaning of wealth. What good was a palace if it had no love in it? But fate is cruel. One morning, Mira fell sick. Doctors were called, machines were brought, but her frail body couldn't endure. Before her last breath, she held Arnov's hand. "Beta," she whispered, her voice weaker than a whisper, "promise me you'll never forget who you are, not the billionaire, but the boy who once played in the fields." Tears, something Arnov hadn't shed in decades, rolled down his face. He nodded, unable to speak. After her passing, Rogov quietly left the mansion one evening, leaving only a note: "Don't search for me. I have lived enough. Take care of yourself, son. That will be our blessing." Arnov searched the city, but they were gone. Perhaps Rogov had returned to the village, perhaps not. But their absence left a hole no fortune could fill. From that day, Arnov changed. He built shelters for the homeless, free hospitals for the poor, and schools in villages. When report